Hello, everybody, and welcome back to LELB Society. I'm Dr. Hariri, the founder and administrator of the LELB Society, and this time I'm going to teach you another lesson on Persian grammar and also vocabulary under the title of 15 Common Mistakes in Persian. And I've collected these 15 common mistakes in Persian made by non-Persian speakers. So here we go. The first item is incorrect pronunciation of vowels, particularly short vowels, because short vowels, as you can see here, are not written or spelled out in Persian, and so you need to memorize them in different words. So perfect your pronunciation in Persian by getting to know the short vowels in the Persian alphabet. For example, mispronouncing آی باکلاه, which is always pronounced as A, as aleph, for example, in like ab, that is to say, actually pronouncing ab as eb or ab, and we have so much experience actually about this. And also mispronouncing or-dak as, for example, ar-dak or something like this, because these O or A or short vowels are not written or spelled out. And by the way, or-dak means duck in Farsi. This is because in Persian, short vowels or صداهای کوتاه, if you just click on that, you will find another lesson on صداهای کوتاه or short vowels in Farsi, like a, e, o, are not written or spelled out, which makes it rather confusing for non-Persian speakers to pronounce Persian vocabulary with these vowels accurately. It's quite confusing, actually. Another example. It's wrong to pronounce actually abru setare as ebr va satare, and the correct pronunciation is abru setare or abr va setare. But remember, actually short vowels are not written, and because this is rather baffling or confusing for non-Persian speakers. So tip: practice the correct pronunciation with a native speaker or use online Persian resources like LELB Society with over 4,500 Persian and English and Persian lessons with videos, podcasts, and multimedia tutorials. So we focus on the second common mistake, misuse of tenses. Learn the most important tenses in Persian or Farsi with videos. And for example, instead of saying man miram, I go, instead of man raftam, I went, to describe a past action or فعل گذشته یا کار گذشته. It's wrong to say من دیروز به دانشگاه میروم, because we are talking about yesterday or actually a past action. So من دیروز به دانشگاه رفتم. Tip: learn the different tenses and when to use them appropriately. At the LELB Society, there are over 10 video lessons exclusively on tenses, on different tenses in Farsi, or انواع زمانها در دستور زبان فارسی. It means different tenses in Persian grammar. And if you just click on that hyperlink, you will find all the, I think to be more specific, 13 lessons exclusively on Persian grammar and different tenses. By the way, I'm going to share the link to this article in the description area. And we come to the third common mistake, pronunciation of kasre or e between nouns. Believe it or not, this is one of the most common mistakes or errors made by non-Persian speakers. Practice pronunciation in Farsi by sending us your voice messages for analysis and feedback only for registered students. That is to say, at LELB Society, our registered students can actually exchange voice messages to us and from us, to improve their pronunciation. For example, if you make any mispronunciation, we will correct you and give you feedback. In Persian, the kasre is a vowel, short vowel actually, diacritical mark that functions as a liaison, that is connector, with an a sound like shua, actually to connect nouns. It is written beneath a letter and indicates the presence of a short a vowel. For example, usually non-Persian speakers, particularly the beginners, would pronounce it as dar or-dak, to talk about the door of the room, but it should be pronounced as dar or-dak or dar machine, the door of the car. Okay, so this is kasre, okay, which is not generally written these days, but it is implied, let's say, and indirectly stated. It is there actually. So focus on the sound. The most important aspect of learning kasre is to understand its sound. It represents a short a sound similar to the a in the English word bed. And listen to native Persian speakers pronounce words with kasre and try to mimic the sound. There is no other way, actually. Okay, we come to the fourth common mistake: confusing verbs, especially compound verbs or af'al murakkab, compound verbs. Okay, learn the most important Persian verbs in simple sentences with videos for non-Persian speakers. And for example, using khordan to eat instead of nushidan to drink when talking about drinking water. And another wrong use of compound verbs is, for example, او از مغازه بیرون برد. او از مغازه بیرون برد. And the compound verb or افعال مرکب، فعل مرکب, which means to exit or go out. بیرون رفتن, actually بیرون آمدن. We don't say بیرون بردن. بیرون بردن means to take out, but بیرون آمدن means to go out, to exit. So او از مغازه بیرون آمد. It means he got out of the shop or exit the shop. And بیرون آمدن. Practice using verbs in different contexts and tenses. Number 5, incorrect use of prepositions or حرف اضافه, prepositions. It's wrong to say ما در حال قدم زدن روی قطار بودیم. Because in English we say we were actually talking on the train. We use the preposition on, but in Farsi we say in the train, We say on the bus, but in Farsi we say in the bus. Actually, it should be translated as word by word this way. So ما در حال قدم زدن در داخل قطار. در داخل قطار. It means inside. قطار means train. ما در حال قدم زدن در داخل. We don't say روی قطار, on the train. So usually English speaking people make this mistake because they generalize the case. This is called overgeneralization. Anyway, learn the correct usage of prepositions and their meanings. Okay, number 6. Misusing articles. For example, saying یک آب, one water, or a water instead of آب, because water is an uncountable noun. And particularly about pluralization, understand the rules for using articles in Farsi. Number 7, incorrect word order, which is very important actually. Sentence structure and word order in the Persian language. For example, we say کتاب قرمز. We don't say قرمز کتاب, because unlike English, in Farsi, adjectives come after nouns. And so instead of, because the adjective usually comes after the noun in Farsi, as I said before. So in English we say read book. We don't say book read, but in Farsi we say book red, actually کتاب قرمز. So also it's wrong to say من خوردم بستنی. من خوردم بستنی. And the correct form to say so, to say that is to tell, to say or write it is من بستنی را خوردم. من بستنی را خوردم, because in the Persian language the word order in the standard sentence structure is subject, verb, object. This is very important. Subject, object, verb. Subject, object, verb. SOV or SOV as an acronym. However, this word order in the English language is subject, verb, object, or SVO. Okay, usually beginners make a lot of mistakes about that. Subject, object, verb in Farsi and subject, verb, object in English. Learning the correct word order in Persian sentences or structures. We have an exclusive lesson with video about that. I really recommend you study this article to have access to all of the other further reading materials and hyperlinks. Number 8, using colloquial expressions or conversational. Formal versus informal or colloquial registers or styles in the Persian language. For example, saying chashm, which means okay, which is informal actually, instead of bale, which is very formal in a formal setting. You know, there are two registers or styles in Farsi, formal versus informal, or actually vuvuaye or tutuaye, as we have it in some other languages like French and to some extent Spanish. But in Farsi, actually, it is very marked. It's wrong to say, for example, در این دوره همی درباره مشکلات شرکت حرف میزنیم. In a formal setting. دوره همی is totally informal. It means chatting or talking very informally, chattering. درباره مشکلات شرکت حرف میزنیم. We talk. But you should just obey the rules in that setting, which is formal, and say در این جلسه or meeting پیرامونه, it means around or about مشکلات شرکت گفتگو میکنیم. We will have a conversation or discussion about that. You know, it's more formal in reference to a formal setting. Be aware of the different registers of Farsi and use appropriate language. Number 9, overusing English loan words. Master Persian vocabulary in real context with images and videos at LELB Society. Example, saying copy instead of nuskhe. While we have actually a Persian word for copy, you should not use copy or copy. And so when referring to a document, for example, try to use Farsi or Persian words or Persian vocabulary whenever possible. If you have a Persian equivalent, try to use it. And this is a perfect way to expand your Persian vocabulary. Number 10, neglecting the use of ra for transitive verbs. Another common mistake, one of the most common mistakes, believe it or not. The function of ra in transitive verbs in Farsi. For example, Kamran lebasash shust. Kamran is a proper name, and like Alex, like Michael. So Kamran lebasash shust. And the correct form to say so, to say that is Kamran lebasash ra shust. This is very important. And as a general rule, in Persian sentences with transitive verbs, it means verbs that require an object or af'al guzara. Again, actually, if you just click on that, you will find an exclusive lesson on transitive verbs in Farsi that require an object. Transitive verbs require an object. The particle ra is added after the object and before the principal or main verb. As I said, Kamran lebasash ra shost. شستن means to wash. لباس clothes. Number 11, forgetting to conjugate verbs. Another complicated feature of Persian in comparison to English. You know, Persian is a very highly conjugational language. Verb conjugation in Farsi. Verb conjugation with simple sentences in Persian. For example, saying خوردن to eat instead of میخورم, I eat, to express present tense. Another example. خانواده من در مسافرت هستیم. So هستیم refers to خانواده من, or my family is on a trip. مسافرت. If you just click on that, you will find Persian vocabulary lessons about traveling. مسافرت. You should say خانواده من در مسافرت هستند, because هستند refers to خانواده, which is a plural noun, اسم جمع, plural noun, and so it must be plural. I mean هستند. That is an inflection. Or من غذا را پزیدم. من غذا را پزیدم instead of من غذا را پختم. So پختم پزیدم. It refers to a past action in the simple past tense actually. So the tense is simple past, but we don't have پزیدم as a past root of the verb پختن. It means to cook. Anyway, practice conjugating verbs or verb conjugation in Farsi, and if you just click on that, you will find another lesson on that topic in different tenses and moods. Number 12, misusing plural noun or forms. Exceptional pluralization, perhaps actually, and some information about that. It's wrong to say من 3 کتاب‌ها از کتابخانه به امانت گرفتم. 3 کتاب‌ها, because in English we say 3 books. We don't say 3 book. But in Farsi we say 3 book. Remember, we don't pluralize book or the noun. 3 کتاب‌ها از کتابخانه or library به امانت گرفتم. So I took 3 books from the library. من 3 کتاب از کتابخانه به امانت گرفتم. Learn the rules for forming plurals in Farsi. Number 13. Incorrect use of pronouns or ضمایر, ضمیرها. Master all pronouns or ضمیرها in Farsi in simple sentences for non-Persian speakers. Example, saying او, he or she, instead of on it to refer to a non-human object. او یک کامپیوتر بسیار پیشرفته است. So we don't say او because computer is an inanimate object or non-human object. او یک کامپیوتر بسیار پیشرفته است. So that is a highly advanced and modern computer set. Okay, computer بسیار پیشرفته means advanced. You should say on یک کامپیوتر بسیار پیشرفته است, because on is just used to refer to a non-human object. We don't use او. او is used only to refer to humans as a pronoun, remember. Pay attention to the gender and number of pronouns in Farsi. 14. Mispronouncing proper nouns. Okay, so mispronouncing the name of, for example, the city Tehran as Tehran or something like this, but it is pronounced as Tehran. Okay, and tip, practice pronouncing proper nouns correctly. Number 15, not practicing regularly. And as you can see in this photo, one of the best apps for learning Farsi. It's LELB Society as a comprehensive Persian language learning app for non-Persian speakers with thousands of video lessons and full support of multilingual teachers and educators. And not speaking Farsi regularly with native speakers, which is a must actually, and using language learning apps like LELB Society. And the more you practice, the better you will become. And practice makes perfect, and in Farsi we say کار نکو کردن از پر کردن است. It means you need to just persist in that and hang in there. Anyway, you can share this post with your friends who might need this material, and also follow us for new fresh content. And this lesson falls into the category of learn English, learn Persian online with 500 Persian lessons and videos and some tags or keywords: mistake, Persian conversation, Persian grammar, Persian vocabulary, pronunciation, آموزش دستور زبان، آموزش فارسی به بزرگسالان, teaching Persian to adults, مکالمه فارسی, Persian conversation, and others. Some related lessons: negation in Persian, Persian grammar, affirmative to negative, and also Persian lessons for kids, a fun and easy approach, and formal versus conversational Persian with examples. Remember, you can have this chance to ask us your questions always by using this comment form at the bottom of each lesson with videos. Just visit our website at lelb.net and you will have access to all of these materials for free. Thank you so much. Hope you found it useful. Take care and see you soon in our next video. Bye bye everybody و خدا نگهدار.